In this video, we're gonna see how the first in, first out costing method affects our manufacturing orders and our finished products. For this, let's go into our products and we're gonna create a new one and we're just gonna call it FIFO component. Okay, and we're gonna track the inventory for this particular component and we're gonna find this component into a category. This category, we already configured it, but for you to see, it's gonna have the costing method being first in, first out, and the inventory evaluation being automated. On the removal strategy for the products in this category, by default, it's gonna be the first one that appears here, which is gonna be FIFO, okay? But you can also configure that. All right, now let's go back to our products, and what we're gonna do with that product is that we're gonna actually buy it. So let's go into our purchase orders and we're gonna create a new purchase order for our vendor called, not super creatively, vendor. And we're gonna add our product, FIFO component. There we go. We're gonna buy our first component at $10. There we go. Let's just confirm the order and we're gonna receive our product. Let's just validate and we have now this product in stock. If I go into the product itself, we'll see how now we have that cost assigned as $10. That's for the first product. Now let's go back to the purchase order and in this case we're gonna duplicate it and we're gonna create a new purchase order, number 73. In this case we're gonna buy it at $20. Okay, let's confirm the order and we're gonna receive the products. Let's just validate. And now if we check our FIFO component, this one has been received at $20. However, in the FIFO component into the product itself, the cost is going to show the average of all the ones that we have on hand. We have 2 units on hand. How does this look into our accounting? If we go into accounting and we check our journal entries, we'll see how we received that FIFO component at the price of $10 and how we received it later on at a price of $20. Now, let's do a product. There we go. That is the final product. And on this one, we're also going to be tracking inventory and we're going to use exactly the same product category. It doesn't need to be the same. It's just that we are showing this so that it makes more sense. We're going to create a bill of materials for this final product and we're going to add that FIFO component for this final product. One last thing so that we don't get confused with this final product, we're actually gonna call it, let's just go back to the final product and we're gonna call it final product FIFO so that it's easier for me now to search it when we are manufacturing it. So as you can see, first final product that we have, cost of it, $0 per unit. So let's go into manufacturing and produce one of these components. Now, let's create that new manufacturing order for the final product FIFO. Now, this is going to be using the FIFO components, right? And the first one that we had, it was at a cost of $10. So let's just save this manufacturing order. And at first, the overview, when we have it in draft mode, this manufacturing order, what's going to show is the average that we have so far for the existing components. Now, if you're wondering, can I also add costs of my employees, cost of the work center that I'm going to be using? The answer is yes, we're going to be able to add those costs. But for this video, we're just adding the components, okay? Now let's go back to the manufacturing order and we're actually going to confirm that 1 unit needs to be produced for this final product, okay? So let's just say, let's do it. I'm producing 1 unit. This is the 1 FIFO component needs to be consumed. Let's produce. And once this has been produced, let's see what happens. In my overview, I will see how that final FIFO product is at a unit cost of $10 because it's considering that cost of the first component of FIFO component that arrived into our stock, right? More things that we can see is the manufacturing order cost or even the bill of material costs. Now, moving back to our manufacturing order, what we could do is create a new one. So let's do the same. I'm just going to duplicate this one, and I'm going to create and confirm that we need to produce a second unit of my final product FIFO. Before I produce it, let's just check out what happens with the field cost of my final product FIFO. It shows us $10. Okay, that's why, because the only one that we have on hand right now has utilized the FIFO component that had a value of $10. Right, moving on to that second unit that we are producing. When we go into the overview, this already shows $20. Why? Because we only have one component left called FIFO component, and the valuation of that component was $20. Right? Now, let's just click on Produce All, and that's how now we can see that in the overview of this manufacturing order, we have that cost of $20. That's it. Last thing to see. Let's go into our journal entries, and into those journal entries, we'll see the inventory valuation of the things that have been happening with those manufacturing orders. Right? You can see there those corresponding references. And that will be it regarding FIFO components being utilized in manufacturing orders and how it relates to the cost of those components. Thank you.